You, as a parent of a teenager, probably remember just about a few years ago when your child made a mistake, you would get angry at them and reprimand them heavily. Just by the intensity of your anger and by the fact that you used to shout at them, used to give them the message that what we have done is wrong. You expected your child to understand by virtue of your anger that what they had done was wrong. And they did. They did understand what you were trying to tell them. And then they used to come rushing to you with tears flowing down their cheeks, apologizing to you and making promises that they would never do it again. Fast forward to the present time, and now you raise your voice even a tiny bit with your teenager, and all hell breaks loose. They just don't give a damn about what you are saying. The moment you raise your voice, that very moment, they just stop listening to you. So, how is it so that the trick that used to work just about a few years ago doesn't work now? And just because the teenagers get upset or get angry when you get angry with them on a very genuine thing, does it mean that you shouldn't get angry with them at all? Or does it mean that you shouldn't get frustrated when they do something wrong? No. You should get angry with them. You should scold them and you should reprimand them, because obviously it's your duty to correct them when they're wrong. But the manner in which you do it has to change. My name is Avyan and I come from Parenting First, and in this video I'll be sharing 4 situations with you in which and be telling you how to deal with those situations with your teenagers the right way. Let's get started. When your teenager is angry. Now, it is very important for you to understand that when your teenager is angry, you shouldn't get angry back at them. When they are shouting, don't shout back at them. Because what's going on in the mind is that the moment I start shouting, and then the moment my parents start shouting back as well, they're on my level playing field. It gives them the signal that they are in a competition with you, of yelling, of shouting, of screaming. So don't start a yell off with your teenager. Don't shout back if they shout at you. Just be like, the calm voters. Don't react. They're shouting, they're really angry. Don't react. If you have to say something, say it in the calmest, in the most coolest form possible. Say it to their face, look them dead in the eyes with all the seriousness. Say it to their face, but don't shout back. If they start throwing things, if they start damaging things, look them in the eye and tell them that, hey, first point, no, irrespective of the amount of anger that you have towards anything, it does not give you the right to damage anything inside the home. Second point, I will speak to you only when you talk to me in the tone that I'm talking to you, which is in a calm and a composed tone. This will give them the message that if they have to communicate with you, they must tone down, right? Don't demean their sadness. Now, it's something that, we as parents tend to do a lot. We think that the fact that a teenager is upset or is angry, and we know that they're angry towards something like probably they haven't got as many followers as their friend has on Instagram, or they're upset because one of their friends stopped talking to them at school. So the things that upset these teenagers these days are really just ridiculous. But you shouldn't demean their sadness just because you think that it's ridiculous. Because for them, it means the world. For them, not having 500 more followers than their friend means the world to them, right? So I'm not saying that you should completely, consider that as a big problem for you and for your family. But at the same time, you shouldn't think of it as something that's really tiny, something that does not need attention. If your teenager is upset about it, that means they really care about it. And if they care about it, they expect you, who they consider to be a part of their family, to also be concerned about that thing as much as they are. Now, in your rational mind, you might not want to be so concerned about the fact that they don't have so many Instagram followers, but you can kind of show your concern that, okay, well, I'm feeling sad. You can say that I'm feeling sad because you are sad. I'm upset because you are upset. You are my child. I don't want you to be upset. And the worst thing that you would do is, demean their sadness. Say to them that, hey, why can't you be happy sometimes? I always see you so upset. Don't ever say this to them. Instead, you could say, hey, you seem a little off today. You seem a little upset today. How about we go out for some dinner in the evening? Or how about we do this activity together? Or how about we play a game of, whatever it is, whatever sport it is that they love together with them. So just try to find ways that you can kind of, get them out of the circle of sadness and kind of distract them a bit. That will really help them to recover from what they are feeling. Now, what is also important is that you must give them space. They're feeling sad about something which you don't comprehend, or which in your eyes is not something as important that you should be sad about it. But for them, it's a big deal. And you should give them that space to consider that as a big deal and help and solve it on their own. They might not need your help with increasing their Instagram followers, or with having that person who is not talking to them anymore to start talking back to them. They might not need your help in all those problems that they are facing. But if you give them that space, that, okay, I understand that it's your problem, I understand that you are feeling very sad about this, you can just let them be. Just let them feel what they are feeling. Give them that space. Give them the time to deal with it on their own. Okay? Now, nagging is just another form of rebellion by the teenager. You tell them to do something, or you ask them to do something, and then they respond in the way you don't like, and they nag you for it because they feel that that's not right. If they were to ask you that, hey, I want to spend the night with a few of my friends on Saturday evening, and then you tell them, hey, you can't do it because we are going for this family dinner on Saturday evening, so you shouldn't do it, then they would nag you that, why can't I do it? Why can't I go? Why don't I have my own space here? They just want you to kind of give in to that nagging behavior, to kind of say, okay, stop nagging me, stop bothering me so much, and do whatever you want to. That's exactly what they want you to say. When they're nagging you, don't react in that way. Don't give in to their conditions. Don't give in to their demands. Accept it. You can accept the demands. You can accept and say, okay, well, I understand that you want to go out with your friends, but hey, we had planned for the family dinner 2 weeks ago, so we can't really change anything. Or this is more important than your friends. You can probably schedule another, night out with your friends probably next week, or something like that. So try to give them alternatives rather than giving into their nagging behavior. Don't come onto their ground and start arguing with them why you think that they should do what you are asking them to do, and at the same time, just give them alternatives. And if they're nagging you too much, just tell them what you want to tell them and get out of there. You don't want to be in a conversation with a person who's not rationally listening to you, whether it's a teenager or whether it's an adult. Even adults nag, and they get really crazy sometimes. But this one is your teenager. You know what he will do. And the only reason why he has resorted to nagging you is because they can't probably find another way to make you listen to them, or make you give them the green light to do what they want, right? So in that case, don't give into that behavior, don't give into what they say, and at the same time, keep your line clear. Be firm about what you're saying, that okay, if this has to be done, if it has to be done. So be firm about it, but don't give in to that nagging behavior. Now, when your teenager is rebelling, now it's very important to understand that rebellion is just a form of, it's just an expression. It could be an expression of anger, of frustration, of something that they have, or of anxiety, or of stress, something that they have, sort of bottled up inside themselves against you. So it might be so that you said something or you did something which they did not like, and now in order to react to it, in order to kind of respond to what you said or what you did, they are rebelling, they are not listening to you. So it's not something they're doing against you personally, it's not something that they want to do against you because they want to hurt you. It's just that the fact is that they're rebelling because they have something against you, something that they feel is not right. You probably said something, they probably wanted to go out, or they probably wanted a mobile phone which you said that you wouldn't get, and now they are angry with you because they feel that they have a complete right over something which you have clearly denied, right? So it could be that they have this bottled up anger or frustration against you, which is coming out in the form of rebellion. They are not listening to you. They don't care they don't care about anything that you say. So in that case, it is best to kind of self-reflect and understand what it would be that would have been the trigger of that kind of behavior. Whether you said something, whether you did something, just recall what the conversations that you have had with your child over the past few weeks and try and understand if there's anything that you said that they did not particularly like. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do something that that they like in order for them to listen to you. No, but you must understand the reason why they are behaving this particular way. When you do understand it, have a conversation with them around it. Hey, I have seen that you are not listening to me. You're not obeying what I'm telling you. You're not listening to my commands. You're not doing the household chores that you must. What's wrong? Is there anything wrong? Is there anything that you want to talk about? Just get them into a conversation and ask what's actually wrong with them. That will really help you to understand if there's something that you can do in this particular moment to help them, kind of get out of that feeling, to kind of tease out those emotions, those anger, frustration that they have bottled up, to tease them out, throw them away, and then kind of get them back on track, right? So in order to conclude, I would just say that your teenager has just their family, just you, to express what they're feeling to. So when your teenager, kind of behaves a particular way, says some things or expresses themselves in a way that you find unacceptable, it is all because that they are feeling something, or it is all because there are some things inside their mind that is kind of messing around with their, with their mental stability. So it is best for you as a parent to look out for the signs, to watch out for the signs where your teenager, messes up or gets angry or gets frustrated, and then respond appropriately. Thank you.